Hi, friends. Okay, so today's lesson is all about setting. We've talked a little bit about this in a previous story, but today we're going to focus on it again in our story. So, setting is where and when the story happens and takes place. Remember, when we're reading the story, we had to look at the picture clues as well as the author's details and how he's writing. So, where the story happens, maybe it happens on Earth or maybe a different planet. Maybe it happens in their house or in a forest or maybe on a train. You have to think about how the author is describing the setting, what small bits of information, those details he gives us that help us figure out the where. Now, the when is a little bit different. It's when does the story take place? Does it happen in the morning or at night? What time exactly? Or maybe what month it's happening and what season. These are going to be important to any story is when the story takes place. Now, when we're reading the story, I want you to ask yourself, why is the setting important to the story? Why do you think that setting could be important to something? Maybe you're going to read a story that takes place on a cold, snowy day. Think about, did I describe where? No, I only described when. Remember, it was daytime, it was snowy. But now it's happening. But the main character, she left her coat on the school bus. So now we see where it's taken place. It's happening on the bus. I want you to keep this idea of setting in mind when we are reading our book called It's Only Stanley by John Agee. So let's get started, guys. It's Only Stanley by John Agee. So today we're going to read a fantasy. These things that are happening in this book could not happen in real life. Let's look at this cover and figure out what a fantasy is. What kinds of things do you think Stanley might do in this story? First off, who is Stanley? Yeah, he's probably that dog. So we see like pots and kitchen utensils, but he looks like it connected to the TV somehow. I don't know. So let's set a purpose on this. Why might our purpose of reading the story today is why the setting is important in our story. So let's begin reading. I want you to listen to how I read the story. The end punctuation marks on sentences. Maybe it's really exciting, so my voice is going to rise. Think about what is happening. Let's begin. It's Only Stanley by John Agee. Oh! It's Only Stanley. Oh, what time of day is this? Look, it looks like a moon is out. It's dark outside. Oh, that setting, remember? Where and when? The Wimbledons were sleeping. It was very, very late when Wilma heard a spooky sound, which made her sit up straight. Well, that's very odd, said Walter. I don't recognize the tune. So we have Wilma and Walter. Ooh, and it was very, very late. Where is the setting happening? Yeah, it looks like in bed, maybe their other house. When? Yeah, very, very late. They were sleeping. Nighttime, probably. Oh! It's only Stanley, Walter said. He's howling at the moon. The Wimbledons were sleeping. It was later than before when Wendy heard a clanking sound below her bedroom floor. That's very odd, said Walter. Then they heard another clank. Uh-oh. Look at Wendy. She woke up. Clank, clank, clank. Oh, geez, look at this. It's only Stanley, Walter said. He fixed the oil tank. The Wimbledons were sleeping. It was even later still when Willie smelled a funky smell that made him kind of ill. Ugh. Well, that's very odd, said Walter, when it's almost 2:30. Oh, has the setting changed? Not in this page. Oh, but did the setting change here, guys? Yeah, they're moving places now. They went from the bed to now the kitchen. Blub, 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 blub. It's only Stanley, Walter said. He's making catfish stew. The Wimbledons were sleeping. It was as late as it can get when Wanda heard a buzzing noise that made her all upset. Well, that's very odd, said Walter, when it's almost 3:30. Oh, look, the cat's feeling sick from that catfish stew. But look, everybody's joining in the bed. I'm seeing the setting change back and forth, back and forth. I wonder why that's important to the story. Bzz, 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 bzz. Uh-oh. Look at Stanley and that cat. It's only Stanley, Walter said. He fixed our old TV. The Wimbledons were sleeping. It was late beyond belief when Wiley heard a splashy sound that made him say, "Good grief." That's very odd, said Walter, when we've had so little rain. Splish, splash, sploosh. It's only Stanley, Walter said. He cleared the bathtub drain. Oh, now Wilma wasn't happy, and the children threw a fit. We'll never get to sleep tonight if Stanley doesn't quit. I understand, said Walter, and I'll talk to him right now. But just as Walter turned to go, there was a big kapow! The Wimbledons went flying, including Max the cat. Wendy looked around and said, "Well, what on earth was that?" "I'll go and look," said Walter, "and I'll be back very soon." Oh, look, that looks scary. What? What is happening? It's only Stanley, Walter said. We're going to the... Uh-oh. Whoosh. Bonk. Where are they? Did the setting change? Look where they at, guys. Yeah, that's the moon. Oh my gosh. That was a silly story. Now, again, when we are looking at this setting, where did the story take place at? Where did it happen? Well, yeah, it first started on Earth at the house, right? In their bed, we're looking at closer details. But then they went to the moon. Did the story only happen in their bed? No, it happened in different parts of the house. When did the story take place? Yeah, at night. At night while they were sleeping. All right, guys, let's get ready to start our practice. I loved this story. It was really silly. All right, bye.